Charlotte Football Insiders. We're here with Myers Park head coach Scott Chadwick. Coach, in your opinion, what's the main difference between this year's team and last year's team?
Well, I don't know that they're a lot different. It's a very similar team. I would say this team's a little bit hungrier maybe than last year because of the way the season ended.
Yeah.
I think losing in the semifinals kind of leaves a bit of a bitter taste in your mouth, and I think it's made these guys really hungry. We've had a really good off season and I think a really good summer, and I think a lot of it is these guys are really focused. I told someone a while back that, as a head coach, I've won a state championship, but I've lost 2 state championship games, and up until last year, I'd lost 3 quarterfinal games, but I'd never lost a semifinal game.
Oh, wow.
And last year was the first time I'd ever lost one, and I kind of determined that I think it's the worst of all because, if you lose in the quarterfinals, you still had to win another one to get to the championship game.
Yeah.
And even if you lose in the championship game, you still got to experience all the stuff that goes with, playing in the championship game.
Absolutely.
And when you lose in the semifinals, that's a tough one because you're right there. And for us, being up 13-0, we had it in our hands and kind of let it slip away. And so I think for me personally and for our guys, probably the one difference is this is a very hungry team.
All right. Well said, Coach. What do you like most about this team this upcoming season?
Well, I think that we are hungry. I think it's a very determined, very focused bunch. I think it's also a team that's starting to realize the importance of the chemistry, and they're very cognizant of building chemistry, and I've liked that. I've liked that they are making a conscious effort to be a close team, and I guess the other thing that I like is we got a lot of good players back. So nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. Talk about some of those players and some very good talent on this team.
Yeah, I think offensively, obviously it starts with the quarterback and Drake May, and I firmly believe in his class. I don't think there's a better quarterback in the country.
I agree.
And I think at the quarterback position with him, and we feel really good about Owen McCown, our backup there. Is another guy that we feel like if God forbid something happened to Drake, that we can still win a championship with Owen. And they've got a senior kind of guy there, Denny Thompson, who kind of keeps both those guys in line. So I feel really good about that situation.
Excellent.
But I think probably our best position group is probably our receiving group.
Oh yeah.
When you have the number 1 and number 2 rated receivers in the state, depending on which one you're looking for, and Musa Muhammad and Porter Rooks, probably have to go a long way to find a better pair of receivers than that.
Absolutely.
We had a really good pair last year with Moose and Ebo, and Porter's there, and Jordan Bly is back in that spot, and probably since I've been here, this is the first time we've had a real true dual threat tight end. Logan Malden's got Division I offers and is going to be a Division I tight end.
Excellent.
And then you have Twan Flip, who came to us from Country Day, who kind of he's kind of the X factor in there. Does a lot of the he's the speed guy, kind of is the hybrid receiver, running back guy, and kick returner. So he's another weapon for us there. And so the receiving core is probably our best position group. The Newman brothers, Tim and Jacob there at running back. The key to our season probably is going to be how quickly we can replace the 4 starters with us on the offensive line.
Oh yeah.
We have 1 starter, Parker Mendenhall, back, but we got some other guys that are kind of competing there, and we have guys, we have pieces there. We just kind of put the puzzle together a little bit.
Right.
And we'll rely on our defense to start with, and 2 guys that started every game as sophomores last year on the D line, Andrew Bookman and Miles Jones. Roe Chidwood's, was our second leading tackler last year. But probably the strength of our defense and maybe the strength of our team overall is our secondary. We had 6 different guys that kind of started back there in spots last year.
Wow.
4 of those guys are back.
Excellent.
4 of those guys are back, and we picked up a transfer in Caleb LeGrand. So that's a very very big strength for us. There is our both of our safeties, Cameron Roseman, Sinclair, and Blake Wicks, have multiple years starting. Jordan Brown started every game for us last year at corner.
Oh yeah.
And then obviously Caleb started for 2 years at Independence. So a lot of experience back there.
Man, that's a lot of talent, Coach. Really, really blessed situation over there. Now, in your opinion, what is the biggest issue that we must address in high school football right now?
We need to do more to get our communities out on Friday nights.
I agree. Especially in Charlotte. Yeah.
Sure.
Overall.
And again, it's not an issue for us here at Myers Park, but
right.
I'll be honest with you, there's not too many road games that we play where we don't bring more people than the home team.
Right.
And I think here in Charlotte especially, I would like to see a little bit more community support for our schools and for our football programs. There's nothing that there's nothing that draws a community and a school together like football.
Right.
The other sports are great, and obviously we have our bunch of multi-sport guys in our program, but there's nothing that rallies the school and the community together like football, and maybe that's something that I'd like to see some of our CMS leaders take part in that as well, and acknowledge that. If you go to some of the other counties, some of the surrounding counties in this area, you'll see a lot of social media communication from the superintendents, assistant superintendents of those school districts, talking about what's going on Friday night. And I really very rarely see that, here in Charlotte.
Absolutely. That's well said, and I totally agree with that, Coach. What has been the key for success within your program throughout the years?
Well, I think it's not one thing. I think it's a group of things. It's having, number one, having that community behind us. Having an administration here at our school that understands the value of what football does to the school and the community. Having a principal like Mark Bosco is huge. We've had athletic directors the same way, with Rick Lewis and now with Brian Poore, that have, been a big part of that as well. We have a tremendous booster club and a tremendous community behind us. A lot of people, when they come here and they've never been here before, and they look out on a Friday night in our parking lot and they see all the tailgating and all the stuff that goes on, they talk about, how this is kind of a small college atmosphere out here on a Friday night. And I think all of that has gone into this. And, and I think the other part of it is I've been able to surround myself with, some really good people and really good coaches that have helped us build the program the way we want it. And it has attracted, it's attracted players to be here. And we've been fortunate also that we've had good players. So I don't think it's one particular thing, but I think it's a whole list of things that have gone into, to making the program what it is and put us where we are right now.
Excellent. Great answer, Coach. Last thing, is there anyone you want to thank for supporting you and your team?
Well, I think the people I talked about, this community. We have a great group of parents that are very involved, but it's what I call the right kind of involvement. Our parents are involved here and do what they can to make our program great because of that. They want the program to be great. We have no parents out here that have ulterior motives, that are trying to do things to, get an advantage for their kid. They're here because they want the program to be great.
That's awesome.
And they want their kid to have a great experience being in the program, not to help him get playing time or anything like that. And so I would thank the support we have from our parents. I talked about our principal, Mark Bosco, and how supportive he is, and understanding of the value of football. And then the players we've had that have come through here that have worked and put the program where it is. I specifically look at our senior class last year. When they came to Myers Park, that was a big leap of faith for them and in the class before them. A lot of people looked at those two particular classes and probably like, why are you going to Myers Park to play football? And when those two classes came to Myers Park, someone had pointed out to me that something like 7 of 10 or 8 of the last 10 seasons had been losing seasons.
Yeah.
So those guys took a real leap of faith, to come here and be a part of what we did and have put the program where it is right now. So, I would really thank our last two, senior classes for what they did.
Yeah, just some great talent that's come through here. Great success the past couple years, Coach. Looking for more big success this year. And we appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you, Matt. Appreciate all you do and appreciate all those that support us. And like you said, we're looking forward to another big year and hope to see you in November, maybe December.